We got a new bridge. We got a new bridge.
Well, we got 3 new uniforms for Stranger Worlds. I'm Connor Coggins.
I'm Captain Foley. On a new bridge, maybe?
But we didn't get a new bridge, Stuart.
You sure about that? Might got a few changes.
Well, that's what they're here for us to tell them, because we have graphics, we have renders, we have shots. Stranger Worlds, we didn't get a trailer on the start of the day, but we did get a behind-the-scenes cast announcement, which was fantastic. And peppered throughout, they didn't just show us the people, they showed us the characters and some real footage. And yes, if you still frame it on some moments, there's enough to talk about for sure. And as our first look, we needed these, and obviously the bridge is the first home of a ship. And given this is the Enterprise, this is the first home of the First Lady of Star Trek. So definitely worth talking about. There's 2 views in particular, and a third thing I want to talk about. But Stuart, here is the it's right as the Uhura reveal happens. They do a rack focus from Pike to Uhura, but there's also a fade from Nichelle Nichols to Pike, and if you capture it at the right frame between those 2 elements of rack focus, you get one mostly in focus shot. And here's that one in focus shot, the entire trailer of things. So what do you think, before we compare directly to side by side with the Discovery version of the bridge?
I was slightly disappointed, but at the same time kind of happy. I expected more of a change for the bridge, because they had said, you close your eyes and you picture those original series sets. That's what our sets are going to look like. We're going to invoke that feeling in you. And we've already seen the Discovery Enterprise bridge, which has some oddities to it for sure. You were quite determined that they were going to have a whole new bridge. They weren't going to use it, and I disagreed somewhat. They've kind of done both. They've kept the original, their Discovery bridge, and made some changes to it, some tweaks. So overall, not super upset, but I was happy enough, put it that way. How about you?
I'll raise my hands up and say I got the uniforms right. The logic of, okay, they're doing a new bridge, there's a 2-tier argument for that. One, they already built it and spent maybe $500,000 on it. But they aren't the same sound stages, so they had to disassemble it, because they disassembled it between seasons 2 and 3. They hadn't started filming Stranger Worlds until after season 3 Discovery started filming. So it was in storage, and you always repaint and redo after storage. That was their chance to redesign or rebuild, whatever. With a new showrunner, new writers, different design aesthetic, great. So even if they wanted a similar bridge, it physically would have to be rebuilt at the new sound stages, so that was the chance to change things. So I'm kind of blown away. It's very, very similar, to the point of it's either is the same bridge they've obviously repainted, or they said we're just going to build a more sustainable version, because that version of the bridge wasn't meant to last 7 seasons of wear and tear. So it's presumably going to be a more robust version of the same bridge. I'm disappointed. We did like that bridge, but it had distinct flaws. They definitely fixed 1 or 2 of them, and it's still a nice bridge, but it still maintains clearly some of those flaws. The filming style here is less lens flary, and so the in-your-face lights aren't as blaring here, which is fantastic. That's a filming choice. But I do wish it had been, because you can kind of see that. We'll get into it in a minute, but I'm middle, but a middle is good from the better place it started at.
One of the first things I noticed, of course, is a few changes display-wise, which we'll talk about in a minute probably. But
well, I mean, we'll go to the next picture though, because there's a direct side by side. I went through the Discovery. And I think I found a very close side by side, which does show you the physicality. Oh, actually, yes. Look at those pillars. That's the same stuff.
That being said, the lights on the pillar in the Discovery one, the lights right beside that are super bright in your face, are turned off or gone in the new one, which is great. The fact that there's the plaque on the wall now where they're supposed to be, instead of like a display panel, which was great. That's one of the first things I noticed, which I was really happy about. And then just the toning down of the colors, like at the upper one in the Discovery one, they had the TOS colors all in your face for no reason around the top. On the new one, it's toned down to just red, and the main displays have gone from a blue holographic-y look to more of the TOS colors in the new one, which is fantastic, by the way. And I think they might have made some changes to the floor. The floor was one of our big issues, that it was so bright. It still looks like it might be too shiny, but it looks toned down and matted a little bit. So when you look at what's under Saru's feet, it's definitely a different feel.
That was one of the big things. It just had this way too bright, way too blinky. Literally, they were literally blinking lights at eye level at consoles. So as you're trying to work, flash, flash, flash. It was not built remotely for work. And you don't want shiny black floors that look... I don't think the floors are changed. They may have been buffed slightly less shiny, but they're almost the same. I do think the display is definitely better. We've completely removed the blue aesthetic of Discovery, which looked fine on Discovery in that it's its own unique thing. Simple choice, make things orange, blue, green, purple. Brilliant, simple.
One of the things that bothers me if we go to picture 3 is the obscenely huge size of each segment, of each station. They shouldn't be that big. They should be toned down, but we already know that size is an issue for New Trek. They are compensating for something because the ships are double the size. Apparently so is the bridge here and the consoles. It's too big. Those wedges should be like half that size. Maybe not quite, but you know.
I mean, this was a big wide angle where it's distorted, but yeah, you know, the TOS is designed to be very easily controllable, and I can probably control his entire station if he reaches. There's so much extra. It feels as if every single console needs 3 people to work it as standard, and that's not the case. I mean, you know, you can see this, obviously out of focus, you can see it's the same geometry. It's the same exact set pieces. They haven't changed it between the two. Although if you jump back to the first picture again, I do like that there's now under panel lighting with the orange accenting the blue inner. That looks lovely. You don't notice it's not there in the other version, but I think that's rather nice because there are little grates in the bottom of the TOS one. Small addition. I think it's nice. Do you also think, I mean, is it just a lighting thing, or that back wall, it feels again blue? Most of the stuff feels blue. Is it just because they're not lighting it with white? But it now feels like a more clean white bridge as TOS was, or is that lighting, or have they repainted it, do you think?
I'd say both, probably.
Yeah, probably. Fair. But speaking of, let's go to picture 4, Stuart. For those that may not have realised, what do we see or not see here, Stuart?
Ooh, yeah. That's one of the things that annoyed us about this, the original Disco Enterprise bridge, is the fact that there was this huge entryway and a wraparound corridor behind 2 of the stations to the one side, a hallway.
Which went the entire ring of the bridge.
Which was Kurtzman's idea. I want a hallway. That's gone. However, I am a little concerned because in the panel for Star Trek Day, they did say there's a ready room just off the bridge, which there really shouldn't be. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, shit, they didn't get rid of the corridor or the hallway. However, in this shot, it's clearly a new entranceway. I don't know how they're going to work that, but I'm glad they got rid of that hallway, at least in the coming onto the bridge aspect of things. So it still might be there in some form. Like there still might only be 2 panels or 2 stations on this side of the bridge where Uhura was, and then that doorway to like a hallway with the ready room.
That corridor was definitely an improvement. I mean, that was one of the 3 absurd things they did, because there was literally no space in the bridge dome for it. So it doesn't even make sense. Even with the upscaled ship, it's silly. And we know how big the Enterprise is, the actual Connie, original Connie. There is no corridor there. And as you said, it was Kurtzman's just demand on set as they were building it. And they did it. And it's like, oh. So obviously first they did remove it. And it looks better. Because I remember I did read one, or did listen to one thing where I did say we tried to keep it the same size as the original Enterprise. That was important to us because scale is very important. And then Curzon said put a corridor, which obviously extended the entire bridge by like a third and completely ruined all of the size feelings. Because it's a big corridor. It's like a multiple person walkway. It isn't like a tiny space corridor. And so I wanted to elaborate that on by showing the shot from the show. And last of all, Stuart, here is it with what this bridge will evolve into in like 6 years of canon. Direct side by side. I mean, you know, more for funsies rather than anything else, Stuart. But, you know, this is the new version. It might be staying this way for, you know, multiple, 7 seasons. So, what do you think now, seeing them side by side?
I'm happier. I do want to see more of the bridge. I want to see the view screen. The view screen is going to be very telling, because Is it still a window? Is it still the whole front of the bridge? When the TOS one clearly just had a view screen with a little nook for the view screen. If they've changed the front of the bridge, I'll be a lot happier. But honestly, some of the changes they've made are the ones that we were worried about, and that makes me happy. Like they've done enough to kind of satisfy me for now. So I am happy with the changes they've made. I think they've definitely taken some steps in the right direction. So.
And it definitely feels as if they personally loved this design, so they said let's change it as little as possible. But the original design was without Kurtzman's corridor, and so with one simple change to back the original concept, it's better. But I get the sense they don't want to change it much more, because it is clearly the same bridge with very minor tweaks. But maybe it's more matte than it looks. Maybe the window is drastically smaller. That'd be lovely. More, make it half as long with the two panels on either side of blinkies. That'd be a lovely addition. Make it more reasonably sized. I know this is an anamorphic show, so having long and thin view screen fits with the anamorphic widescreen. I get that, but it just shouldn't be that way on the ship. That's not how that forms. But it's fine. Good fine. You know what I mean? Like it's on that scale. Yeah.
Well, we already had Pike rescue the day and say, I want all the hologram things taken out of the ship to get rid of the hologram thing. So maybe something happens in season 1 of Strange New Worlds because they have a window. He's like, I want the window gone. I want a view screen there because having a window there was stupid. So maybe Pike is the catalyst for all these changes.
Because every ship I've been on, my entire career has had a goddamn view screen. Why are the colonies now have windows? Why? Give me back my view screen. It's far cooler. No, that's funny. But yeah, cool. I look forward to seeing more, and roll on the show, I guess, 2022. And tune in for our other videos on Strange New Worlds, looking at multiple things, including the uniforms, like I already teased about. We have a lovely big review on that, so tune into that. And keep supporting the channel via Patreon, via Super Chats, via all the many ways. It makes a difference, guys. We want to keep doing these things, and you guys do support us. We got to keep supporting us, and we'll keep making the content.
That's right. And as always, comment down below your thoughts on the bridge, and let us know what you're thinking. And by all means, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell icon to all. And yeah, like Samuel was saying, join us for the lives where we discuss this kind of thing in detail and can have an interactive, one-on-one with you guys, talking about this kind of thing in real time. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I am Commander Cousins.
And we'll see you in the future.